Hi, I'm Andrea with the Ames Chamber of Commerce. Today we have another COVID-19 update, and this time it's on workforce. And we have with us today Brenda Dreyer, who spearheads our workforce development program at the Ames Chamber. Hi, Brenda.
Good morning, Andrea.
Thanks for joining us this morning. I know we're trying to hop on in the morning, thinking we've had some internet troubles with so many people working from home right now. So we wanted to see if we can hopefully beat all the traffic onto the internet this morning. So why don't we jump right in? We have so many things to update our members on. And so we've got a lot of information to share. We'll try to do it in helpful ways for you, and also provide you links so that you can explore more on your own as well. So first, let's get started. We just want to make sure everybody knows that on our website, you can find all these resources. The address there is ameschamber.com, and we have a COVID-19 section. Workforce is one of the sections. We also have business. We also have a business to business, so businesses who are doing specials to help each other out. And we had just some great information on our community and our healthcare related COVID-19 topics as well. But today's presentation here is all about workforce. So Brenda, talk to us a little bit about how about some unemployment?
So one of the things, for many folks, this may not be new information. What we've been trying to do is we've been getting information and we hear information. Part of what we're trying to do is trying to streamline it in such a fashion that it's a little easier for folks to understand, and trying to be really clear on who that information impacts and maybe who it doesn't impact. And so one of the first things that's going on and we need to talk about is really related around unemployment. I know employers are concerned about employees that may be impacted as business may be slowing down. And then we know there are a lot of people out there across our community and county that maybe never had to deal with unemployment before. And so our goal is to be able to provide maybe clear information. We're not here to replace the work of workforce development, but we're here to partner with them and get some questions answered so people can move through that process. So first and foremost, one of the questions really is about, who may actually qualify for unemployment. And one of the things to keep in mind is that workforce development looks at a continuum of about 18 months. And they're looking at where folks have worked in that 18-month period. So really, in order to qualify for benefits, you need to have worked 6 of the 18 months. And it doesn't necessarily need to be with the employer that they were currently with. So that's just a real important thing to keep in mind. And as people may be struggling with the process, it really kind of maybe comes back to that initial qualification for unemployment. Friday was a big day. A lot of things happened with loan programs for our businesses and really things related to unemployment. And that's referred to the CARES Act. And so if you hear of CARES, there is some unemployment aspects of that piece of legislation and law now. As it relates to unemployment, it happened just on Friday. And so it's going to take a little bit for all of the processes to be in place for the federal government to communicate with the state government in terms of folks impacted with COVID-19 and finding themselves without work. So be patient. Anything you do now, you can file a claim. Just be patient and the federal impacts will catch up. Some big pieces of things as it relates to unemployment that we want to make sure our employers and impacted employees understand is they no longer need to utilize all their paid leave. And this has been interesting for employers and for employees. It's been one of the reasons that folks have found, again, maybe they didn't qualify for unemployment. That has now been waived effective Friday. So that is no longer an item for consideration. If they have maybe told you need to have a 1-week waiting period, that's been now waived. The other big news for our members and our stakeholders is that It now includes people that maybe were self-employed or contract workers. They now are eligible to file for unemployment benefits as a result of things that happened on Friday with the CARES passage. Again, I want to remind our stakeholders and our businesses across Story County that if you have an employee that has found themselves impacted by COVID-19, has impacted their employment status, there is no cost to the employer for those employees to pursue benefits. So again, that's a big thing to keep in mind. That was the case over the last couple of weeks, but I think it's important to remind people of that. The big news is that on Friday, with the passage of CARES, an additional $600 will come on top of what the state is providing for benefits. And so this is going to offer real relief to our impacted workforce, certainly going to have great impact on our families as you consider that extra supplemental benefit going into place. They've also extended out the time that you can receive benefits. The actual $600 supplemental benefit is scheduled to expire the end of July, but the total unemployment benefits now have been extended to 39 weeks. And the important thing is that to make an unemployment claim, please do that online at iowaworkforcedevelopment.com. They are backlogged. It's very difficult to get through on the phone. Again, use our website to get information that might be helpful. They're telling us that the state portion of unemployment, you can expect to receive that after you make a claim and have been approved in 7 to 10 days. Again, I would ask everybody to be a bit patient on that supplemental $600. I know they're working as quickly as possible to get those dollars into impacted workforce. So lots of information, and again, we're trying to make it as easy for folks to understand as possible.
Thank you, Brenda. So I think it's important to remind everybody that we have links to all this information on our website at ameschamber.com. This is just one of the pieces of information we have there for our employers. We also have a lot of resources there for our employees and those looking for work. And that's our next topic, actually. There are a lot of businesses out hiring right now. And so we wanted to share that with you too.
So that's kind of the interesting thing. The Ames area has always traditionally had some of the lowest unemployment in the country. And so despite everything that's going on, you know, we do have job openings available. What we've tried to do is create a spot where immediate opportunities can be highlighted. So as we hear from our stakeholders that they have immediate opportunities, we're including them on a link on the COVID-19 tab. So for our stakeholders that are joining us and listening to this video, even after we've recorded it live, please get those to our offices and we'll get them added to the flyers. So as we're talking to people that have been impacted, folks that want to get to work, it's really that flyer that we're starting with first, because we know those opportunities, somebody can make application, and we know they're actively recruiting to fill those positions. And so I think folks will be surprised to find out that obviously we have healthcare opportunities, we have retail opportunities, but we also have manufacturing opportunities and distribution opportunities, and it's worth taking a look. And again, if our members and our stakeholders have those opportunities, please get those to our office so we can get them included on that information that we're pushing out to folks that are wanting work right now. We're also sharing that information with our partners, our human service provider partners. It's something we want anybody that wants to be working, and we're trying to do our part to make those connections. The other thing we're encouraging people to do is that to utilize workinames.com. It is our Story County job board. Earlier this week, I went in and we have about 1,600 job opportunities listed there today. Now, I can't confirm what the hiring schedule might be for those positions and how they might be impacted, by the current situation. But again, this is a great opportunity to, if you're impacted, to do a thorough job search, take a look at some of the opportunities we've highlighted on workinames.com. We have a portion of that website where you can register as a job seeker and receive notices when positions that match your interest area are posted. It's an opportunity for our employers, once they become a registered employer on the site, to actually access the job seeker database, where we have 1,800 people today that have said they'd like to work in Ames and Story County. So that's a good place to start an employee search. There is no cost for the employer or employee to utilize workinames.com. And I might add, when I looked at the numbers earlier this week, in March, we'd already had 10,000 searches on the workinames.com website. So despite everything that's going on, there are some very neat opportunities available across Ames and Story County that are highlighted either with our workforce immediate openings flyer or on our Story County job board.
And I think it's great to point out the workinames.com is our job site for Story County all year round. We're always posting new jobs, and we're trying to connect our members and stakeholders with great employees. So please share that with anybody you know who's looking for work, regardless of if it's related to COVID-19 or not. We have some great opportunities there all the time. And it's just one of the services we provide from the Ames Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Commission. So our next topic, we have some things that were kind of announced a little while ago. Maybe we just wanted to remind everybody. So payroll tax credits.
So I know it seems like 2.5 weeks ago it seems like forever. And I think we're reminded every day that we've got a little ways to go, maybe perhaps here before things peak. And so this is really just a reminder to our employers, as you have workforce that is impacted by the coronavirus. If they themselves become sick and need to be quarantined, or a member of their family, if they're being impacted in that way, remember that as an employer here in the state of Iowa, you can receive 100% reimbursement for their paid leave. And we've highlighted some of those more HR and payroll related details. But again, as a reminder, all levels of government are really working as quickly as they can to make it as easy as possible for our businesses to be able to claim some of these incentives and keep dollars in their accounts during this time. So you can actually go in and almost do an offset on your payroll taxes, and almost allows you to keep those dollars and that reimbursement, and in order to pay yourself back for some of those credits if you have employees that are being impacted. So again, the details of that are on our site. I just want to remind people that it's there, and it got talked about 2.5 weeks ago, but it's important, more important than ever, to be aware of some of those credits that are available and how essentially you can quickly keep those dollars and be reimbursed for those expenses. And finally, too, I want to remind folks that, remember early on, the state gave a bit of reprieve on unemployment tax payments, and those that were supposed to be due the end of this month will now be delayed until the end of July. You'll still need to pay those, but again, in a way to try to keep as many dollars in your local business. Now, it's one of the steps that happened fairly early on in terms of being able to have an impact on cash flow. So those are just my updates for workforce. I thought it would be important to talk to our stakeholders about today.
Absolutely. So thank you, Brenda, so much for all this information. Again, reminder that all the links to what we've talked about today and additional information related to COVID-19 in particular are still available on ameschamber.com. We have a special section that we update daily, sometimes hourly. Just as news comes out, we make sure our resources are there for our members and stakeholders. So please visit us. Also, we included Brenda's email there, brenda@ameschamber.com. reach out to her if you have any questions specific to workforce. If you have other questions, give us a call at our main line, 515-232-2310. And Melissa there can help coordinate the right person for you to talk to, depending on what your question is about. So again, thank you, Brenda, for your help today. And I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Yes, thank you.